deeper into the journey so that at least we start experiencing the change in our personal, professional, social life, so that you can set an example. I'm just using it in a way to help our self discovery. The people will notice that there is a tremendous change in behavior, attitude, response in life to the situation, people, relations outside. So, why it has been happening, why that change is happening? It is because there is an inner change. So, that is one way to live wisely. Another way to understand, you know that Mondays and Thursdays, our time 7:50 a.m. The intellect knows it. You know means the intellect knows it. Clear? But the mind says, okay, even if I'm late, what will happen? There is no problem. Pay attention. This is very important. That is how you analyze and observe and live wisely. The intellect says that this food is not good for me. Oh, let us take it. Mind. You take it, you suffer, you repeat it, then you know what happens in the mind? The guilt. So we are understanding also the guilt. The guilt comes when there is no happy marriage between the intellect and the mind. Our intellect knows it, it understands it. But to implement it is the mind. I have to wake up in the morning. But those who are lazy, the mind says, okay, take rest. What will happen? The intellect says anxiety and hesitation is not good, but the mind still falls into anxiety. So when there is no happy marriage between the intellect and the mind, and the mind realizes that it is not happening, I am not able to change my habit, so that results into guilt. One word. Think of this. The definition. If you define guilt, it becomes very difficult to understand. And that prevents us to live wisely. So that is what I said, that we are going little deeper and deeper into the journey of the self discovery, and just check it in your daily life. Your behavior, your response, your attitude to the people, to in your personal, professional life, if they have started changing. So, what is going to happen when there is a happy marriage between the mind and the intellect? We participate with the existence. So, another understanding of living wisely is that I participate with the existence all the time, is what is the highest state of mindfulness. And that choice is given only to us, to the human race. You see, the material kingdom to the plants, one level of evolution, plants to the animal kingdom, another level of evolution, animals to the human being, another level of evolution. Now, as a human being with this body, we have a choice. We have a free intellect. We have a free choice, free intellect to have a free choice and observe and can take a decision. We can participate in the evolution. We can participate in the evolution consciously. That is not possible in the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. Not possible. So we are not comparing that who is superior and who is inferior. We are just understanding that the existence made us the human being. We did not have a choice. Ask yourself, do you have a choice? We didn't have a choice of this human body. Only in this human body, the intellect can work freely. Do you see that? Just check, analyze, and observe. Oh, my intellect can work freely. Can you say to the tiger, from today become non-violent? Let me teach you. Not possible. It is only possible with us. So, one great master has analyzed in a different way. He says, find out what is totally evolved in this human frame or the body. What is evolving and what is yet to evolve. What is totally evolved? The physical body and the nervous system. What we use the word prana, energy. We have the five sense organs fully developed. We do not have any chance to have the sixth sense organ. That is why we say mind is the sixth organ. Physical body plus the nervous system is fully evolved. There is no chance. So it means we have to repair, we have to take care, we have to maintain this human body as long as it really lives. What is evolving? Compare the animal kingdom with the human. Mind is evolving all the time. But the mind with an animal mind stays as it is in the animal kingdom. Mind is the same in all living species. How much it manifests in plants, how much it has manifested in animals, and how much it is manifested in the human frame, that is the only difference. But what makes the biggest difference that as a human being, my mind can evolve, can move to the next level. That is not possible with the animal kingdom. Yoga, Eastern wisdom, mindfulness, or our great masters, the Buddha, has realized that if this mind can evolve, where the mind is evolving, to discover where the mind is evolving to a final point is known as awakening and realization. Are you getting it? Did I make it understand? First, think of this. Matter was there. So matter evolved into life. Life evolved into mind. Rudimentary mind in plants, animal mind in animals, and free mind in the human. So this mind is constantly evolving. Mind has conflicts, confusion, anxiety, duality, conflict. That is natural for the human race in the beginning. But the intellect observes, understands, finds the ways to get rid of the conflict. What is the next result? Next result is relaxation and calmness. That is what we are doing. You move the mind within every time and you move into a state of relax, calm. There are other ways of relaxation also that the modern science has found out, but they do not work all the time. So, what is after the relaxation and calmness? I have to discover the source of that peace and happiness. And that source of the peace and happiness, our master says, it is your real self. You are of the nature of the peace and happiness. That is what the process of, you can say, evolution is there. That is what the process of awakening and realization is. So, what does it mean by the awakening and realization? That once you have a spark of that, you realize that it remains with you 24 by 7. That is what the awakening and realization is. Once you declare that the peace is my essential nature, now it lives with me all the time. Who knows it? Intellect knows it. But if the mind is not transformed, the mind says, okay, who cares for the peace? Let me do this. So there is no happy marriage between the mind and intellect. Why there is no happy marriage between the mind and intellect? Because the mind is not fully evolved. So then we have a guilt, and with the guilt, you support your anxiety and conflict and a lot of host of other problems. See, in a sequential way, that is another way to understand what it means by living wisely. So when we live wisely, our awareness is always focused on the real self within me. And that is why in the last session, we wanted to understand deeply and clearly what exactly is the discernment, what is the dispassion that we are going to understand deeply. So the intellect has a right understanding, a clear understanding, and we start thinking, speaking, and acting out of that state. So we had the 5 factors to sharpen that intellect to enter into the state of discernment and dispassion. So the first factor is the cause. Take an example. I am suffering. I made a statement, I am suffering. So I should start thinking what exactly is the cause. The intellect gave us the knowledge that I am suffering. That is also a knowledge. So what is the cause of it? So if you do not think what is the cause of it, the mind will start running outside. So Eastern wisdom says, what it says, I claim that the world is real. Then only we suffer. The world is constantly changing. Let me become aware of this fact in the intellect. Allow the intellect to pass on this information to the mind. You will see you have found the cause. The mind will relax. So first, always remember the first factor is the cause. Second is the nature. We forget that we are of the nature of real self. Mind says, hell with your knowledge. First, let me take care of my anxiety. I have lot of problem. Let me settle a score with you because of ego, because of likes and dislikes, because of hatred and jealousy. So the mind takes over the intellect. There is no happy marriage between the two. Do you see that? That is another way to understand is the meaning of living wisely. So, first is the cause, second is the nature, third is the effect. What exactly is the effect? I never think I am in anxiety. It's a mental, emotional symptoms. Clear? Okay. So when it is an emotional symptoms, I forget to see its effect. The moment I claim that I am in stress, I am in suffering, I am worthy of suffering. And I forget the entire knowledge. You see why it takes a long time? Intellect has a right knowledge, it has an understanding, but to bring that knowledge into the mind, to bring about a change in the behavior and attitude in daily life is not there. So there is a guilt, so there is a problem. So the third factor is the effect. We always let us explore the effect. What I am doing, does it has an effect? Or intellect simply says I understand, but still I have a problem. Same problem of hot plate. I know it's a hot plate, but I have to put my hand. And the fourth factor is the fulfillment. Or we can say that it's whether it's a fulfillment, or you can say that what is the progress? The moment you wake up in the morning, you are totally relaxed. Did you think, speak, and act in relaxation and calmness the time you wake up until you retire to the bed? So there is a constant, continuous presence of that relaxation and calmness deeper inside. You are working everything outside. That is another way to think that that is the meaning of living wisely. And the fifth factor is the result. I should analyze the result, and that result helps me to live in the discernment at a higher level. The moment we have a discernment, it results into dispassion. The moment we have a dispassion, it results into awakening to the inner treasures, 6 inner treasures that we have talked about. So when there is no happy marriage between the intellect and the mind, these 6 treasures are hidden inside. They go into the background. It does not mean that I don't have it. Then the result is the guilt and the anxiety and the duality and a conflict in our daily life. So living wisely means that I am progressing into the power of discernment in the intellect first, applying in the mind, and then it results into dispassion. From the dispassion, it results into how it will come by practice. Practice is one thing, but understanding, listening again and again, listening again and again, talking to yourself, thinking and contemplating again and again. Now see that another way to contemplate who am I? Compare it with the 5 factors. Start thinking about first is the cause. I am conscious. I am conscious of my stress. I am conscious of my relaxation. I am conscious of my relations. I am conscious. Who am I? That is why I am consciousness. I am conscious of my likes and dislikes. So there are 2 parts. I am conscious. Second part, likes and dislikes. So I forget the first part, I am conscious, and then I go with the likes and dislikes. Mind falls into ignorance. It causes the duality, conflict, and then I forget. I am conscious simply means, or you can say I am conscious, I know this, I experience this. They all mean the same thing. Are you listening to me? Only because you are conscious. You are listening to me only because you are conscious. Are you a human being? Yes, only because I am aware that I am a human being. Or I know I am a human being. Are you getting it? So the first factor, we say the cause. I am conscious. That is the cause. That is why I am consciousness. Do I remember this all the time? I have to think. I have to think in my mind. I have to speak to myself. Speaking to myself, it means that you are going to change the mind. If you are not thinking, you take it for granted. Then we start living subconsciously, habitually, impulsively. You see the difference. Second is the nature. Oh, the Eastern wisdom says that my nature is pure consciousness, it is of the nature of peace and happiness, but I have an anxiety, so am I worthy of suffering? You have to think that level of awareness will not come by practice. Practice is to purify the mind. I have to contemplate. I have to reflect. If I don't contemplate and reflect, it will not come. You have to listen. You have to understand. Second part. Third, we have cause and the nature, and the third is the effect. So when we use the word effect, there is some cause. We explore the cause by contemplation and reflection. If you do not contemplate and reflect, we will never be out of this suffering because the mind is not going to change ultimately. Fulfillment. So, here the fulfillment. Now, let me promise myself for this week I will remain relaxed and calm in all the situation, in all the relations, from morning until I retire to the bed. You are giving a task that should be done consciously to the mind with an understanding of this knowledge. That is the meaning that you are living wisely. And the last fifth factor is the result. So, what is the result? Result is the higher level of discernment where there is a happy marriage between the intellect and the mind. I've given that example many a times. You have a thought that you are hungry. Go to the kitchen, put the food on the table, and then you eat it. So there is a happy marriage between the intellect and the mind. That is why the mind is not confused. There is no conflict, there is no confusion. Uh, my honey is crazy. The moment you think it will never complete, that very thought process will never complete. And the mind enters into confusion. It's not an issue of morality and ethics. Do you see that? The moment I say, no, I'm into anxiety, and from then anxiety, you start finding the cause of the anxiety, you will never be able to find. Even if you find it, see that. See how our masters are making us understand this. So, living wisely, logically, it has the five factors. Last point is also very interesting. Pleasure seeking mind. Pleasure-seeking mind means that it wants a pleasure or happiness in contact with something outside. You just become aware. It does not mean that you should not eat the food that you like. I am conscious of eating the food. One is pleasure-seeking mind that disturbs, that blocks the intellect to live wisely. Second is the desire seeking mind, desire for happiness. That is another point. Third is the health seeking mind. I am sick, I am suffering from. So the mind is running outside. Get the best treatment, but keep the mind within. And the fourth mind is the real self seeking mind. Pleasure seeking mind, desire for happiness seeking mind that goes outside. I'm not able to complete in a complete sentence, so that I'm giving you a phrase. Think of this: pleasure seeking mind, desire seeking mind, health seeking mind. Do it, but keep the mind within, so that if the cause of my illness is outside, my mind should take a right measure. And then the real self seeking mind is there. So, when we understand and divide the mind into four categories, and the moment I recognize I am into anxiety because what I like has not been realized by the mind outside, that is one of the major factor of the anxiety, duality, conflict in our life. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Position of the body. Make your body in a perfect position so that you feel comfort. Eyes are closed. Just check that how fast we can settle. How fast does not mean that we are in a hurry. Pay attention. Happy marriage between the mind and intellect. No, I'm always in a hurry. Indicate how fast we are settled. It demands the right knowledge, passes to the mind. The mind does not complain and it does not move the body again and again. Or you are still struggling with the body, breath, mind, position. Struggle means what? We are not settled. Okay, we may show that we are settled, but is there an inner struggle? Check it. I can become conscious of the inner struggle. No, I have controlled my body to be comfortable. No, settled. And now being comfortable, you are moving. You see that what I said? What I said that happy marriage between the mind and the intellect. So intellect knows it. Everyone's intellect knows it. That is the journey of being comfortable. You look at the neck joint, so mind goes there. It feels sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And so you are comfortable. Now mind moves on the shoulder joints. You feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Very good. Move the mind on the hip joint. You see where the knowledge comes to you to rescue you. So you look at the hip joint. The mind says, I'm somewhere else. That mind should return to the step, to the practice. If it is not returning, there is no happy marriage between the mind and intellect. That is the way to live wisely. That is the way to live wisely. Move the mind on the entire, move the mind on the entire body. Feel the sensation. Feel the sensation. Experience. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You see, we are doing the same practice, but now it's more at the subtler level. The fine thread between, fine thread between the intellect and the mind. One day you will enter into being comfortable, and your mind says, no, I am already within. Happy marriage between the two. Being carefree. Carefree means what? Just check it. The mind invites unwelcome, unwanted thoughts because of corresponding impressions present in the mind. Because of corresponding impressions present in the mind, thoughts are coming and going. I'm conscious of thoughts coming, I'm conscious of the thoughts are going. So, not a single thought, good or bad, is causing any problem to you. Is it not discernment? It is. You have separated. No, I'm into anxiety. Okay, I will think it over. Let me practice it first. And then in that state, we can use what we discussed. I'm just translating. You can find out that translation into the practice. Sarve Sham Swastir Bhavatu. I'm still using the same mantra. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu. Sarvesham swastirbhavatu. Let there be well-being for all. At this moment, does the intellect pass on the knowledge to the mind? The moment the knowledge is passed on, your mind will be absorbed. But if the mind is not ready to accept the knowledge, that is the problem. That is why it is taking a long time. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let there be a state of peace all the time. Let there be peace for all. So, where we are shifting the mind, do you pick up, the nature, the cause, the effect, the result? Those are the subtler points. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. 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 Let there be the wholeness and the completeness. And then Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Understand that clearly. I've been just one principle. The moment you have any form of anxiety, lot of thoughts are there and conflict and confusion is there, remember one thing: there is no happy marriage between the intellect and the mind. Now look deep inside the head, in the space. So when there is no happy marriage or there is a happy marriage, still we continue to do it. Until what time, I'll tell you. So looking deep inside the head, in the space, and start breathing quick and short, breathing with Om Shanti. So body comfortable and steady, mind focus deep inside the forehead, and start breathing quick and short breaths. We'll focus on three centers symbolically, and we will continue with the breathing. We are breathing first into the chest, Continue quick and short breathing, and we'll continue with this for a couple of weeks to check the impact on the mind. Om Shanti continues, focus is there inside the forehead, and the chest breathing continues. And do nothing. Why we do nothing? To find out the effect. Not only the effect in the form of the sensation, but also the effect is that now the mind is not inviting the thoughts that leads to the conflict and confusion. A sense of emptiness prevails. Again, bring the focus deep inside the forehead and start breathing from the belly. Inhale, the belly goes out. Exhale, the belly goes in. Little longer breath. Focus remains inside the forehead, and you continue with Om Shanti. Just check it. Little longer breath. Focus remains inside the forehead. Now stop it. So we are discerning based on the five factors, the cause, the nature, the effect. Yeah, effect is on the body is okay, but we are looking for a deeper effect. A sense of fulfillment is there, a calmness, and the relaxation is there. It is happening because the mind has gone inside. So the breathing we are doing is the cause to move the mind within. And now keep again the same focus inside the forehead, and this time you have to inhale and exhale both from the chest and the belly. Long, possibly the hissing. First you inhale into the belly, then into the chest. You exhale from the belly and the chest. Focus remains inside the forehead. Om Shanti continues. Om Shanti continues. So difference between the breathing that we do in Nyasa. In Nyasa it is deep, silent and slow breathing. The same breathing is there, but it is a longer with a hissing sound. And stop this. Good experience is okay, but yes, we have to see not only the effect, but you are consciously checking the progress. So, what will happen one day? You will find a higher center deeper within that results into the same state of the calmness even without breathing. At present, we are working on it. We will continue to work for a couple of weeks and we will see. So now start breathing deep, silent and slow. Deep, silent and slow. Remember, no noise. As you move, as you inhale, the mind moves from the crown of the head into the spine, reaching to the tailbone, but you are singing Om Shanti. I'm going to break up all the steps slowly. Let us understand for a couple of sessions this journey. And as you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone to the crown of the head, moving in the spine and singing Om Shanti. Effect. You are watching and observing the effect at the same time. Mind is not going anywhere, it is not distracted, it is moving into the space inside, dropping Om Shanti. I told you that this moving breath is the car, mind is the driver, intellect is the boss saying Om Shanti. Highway is there to there you are going deeper and deeper. So in Nyasa we are engaging the mind. So that engagement of the mind says, I'm conscious of the breath, I'm conscious of the movement, in the spine. I'm conscious of singing Om Shanti. That is what we discussed today. Now leave this step also. Looking inside the heart, I am conscious of looking inside the heart. I am conscious of the space there. You are not saying it, but so you are fully aware that what is happening. Then you are aware of the triangle, moving the mind on each side and dropping Om Shanti couple of times, clockwise, anti-clockwise. And once you feel that mind is getting absorbed, nothing to worry, then look inside the center of the triangle, singing Om. So Om singing is to move the mind in the cave of your heart, Shanti, and you enter into silence. Om Shanti. Continuing Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand. You see, when I say this, it means I'm conscious of right hand. Bring your mind on the left hand. You are conscious of the left hand. Bring both the palms on your eyes. Open the eyes inside. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. How are you, Terry? We are seeing you after a long time.
Hello.
She looks more beautiful.
Hi. I'm all right.
You're all right. Very good.
Yeah. I'm
Very.
calm. I'm calm. Everything is fine.
Everything is.
No, I don't have any hair,
Hi.
but I don't need the hair. So all right. Goodbye to it.
You see that you cut your
A lot of the men are smiling that can relate to that. That's
Yes.
funny.
It is
No,
funny.
I know it. I know. I look like I relate to my two brothers now, who both have shaved their heads because their hair was going,
You
and so
are
now I look like my brothers.
you are different than your hairs.
I'm not my hair.
Yes, you are not your hair. I'm very happy to see you. We all are happy to see you. How are you,
Thank
Stephen?
you.
How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. It was a fast, extremely quiet, and very deep meditation. I enjoyed the different breath work throughout it, and just felt myself going deeper and deeper, and struggled to come out of it. So it was just real good. Thank you.
Beautiful, yeah. When we struggle to come out of the meditation, that definitely is a deeper state. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you for it. It was in the beginning, it was a little difficult for me. The intellect and the mind were, jostling between each other. And then I did like the different breath work. And I think after that, there started to be oneness between them and settling. So I feel a lot better now than when I started.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. I'll continue with this breath work, and I'll start replacing other steps. How are you, Jerry?
So I'm good, thank you. I just want to say thank you just in general because I feel like the mind and the intellect are married.
Good.
And I sometimes will say, it's this pea brain. It's the pea brain. It's the little brain that starts to see or not see when something is unconsciously living,
Yeah.
right? And but when they're married, you don't have to worry about the pea brain.
Yes, yes. You see, to live into that awareness, you can live into that awareness in a different way. I experience the conflict and confusion. There is no happy marriage. Instantly, you recognize. Resolve that issue through the intellect. Mind cannot resolve it. Mind will continue to have the guilt and the blame and the complaint. Remember this. And you see the life will just take an about turn. Beautiful. How are you, Sam?
Good. Definitely a little bit challenged in the mind with the breath work, but we were able to battle through it and work through it. And I found some very blank vast space.
Very blank, yes. Beautiful. I want to add one more thing. Recognize, that is what these 5 factors tell us. Recognize the mind enjoy its habit, its impulsive nature. Mind wants to live in its habit. That is why you say the breath work is little bit challenging. Understand that. The more we understand, did you understand what I wanted to say? That breath work is little challenging. So when I get used to it, then it is not challenging. Who is saying this? Mind. Can you get used to your life once and forever? Can you get used to your life once and forever? Life offers challenges all the time. Every moment there is a challenge. I'm just, so let the intellect live with that challenge. How are you, Brandy?
Good morning. I'm good. Terry, it is good to see you. Welcome back. I recognize that I don't always have the most harmonious marriage between my mind and my intellect, and that's why I keep coming back, right, to do this work. And I think it's working. I hope it's working. I did have some moments of blankness. I always appreciate those.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. How are you, Samir?
Sir, I really enjoyed the breath work because after doing the three times I did it and it was very relaxing. Means everything washed out of my mind. Means
Good.
even nothing, not a bit was there. And after that, I went into deep meditation. And it was really nice.
Good. Yes, that's what I've been telling. Any activity, effort by the mind in the beginning is good. We should continue to do it. But we should reach to that state of the calmness even without any active step of the mind. Why? Because calmness is peace is my essential nature. But why I feel the difference? Because by doing the breath work, the mind goes inside. But if the mind lives inside, what is that state? Happy marriage. I'm talking of marriage again and again. So, how are you, Rakesh? Yes.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back, Terry. Uh, Sir, you took in this session very slowly and steadily into the deeper and deeper state. And during the meditation, I also realized that the mind was doing through the body what the intellect was asking. So it was no conflict or no confusion. It was very peaceful.
Yes.
At the end, it was all lifted. I just felt like lifted above everything.
Very good. Yeah. What the mind is doing, the intellect is supporting. Then there is no conflict. And when there is no conflict, the life evolves. How are you, Vaibhav?
Sir, I'm good. Is what's completely steady inside. I was seeing my mind, but not moving by that. Completely steady and peaceful.
Completely steady, peaceful. Beautiful. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm sorry when I cannot be with you on lessons. Sometimes we have blackouts. So Sometimes I'm able to be here, sometimes not. It was very interesting with this breathing. It was hard to breathe for me, and my body after breathing it got cold and started to shake a little bit as if, and but then I totally relaxed, and I felt warmth. um, yeah, and I think it was very hard to feel to be back into my body. My right arm numbed so much that I have just started to feel it.
Yeah, that is what Stephen was saying. I have to struggle to come out of the meditative state. Wonderful. That is really very good. No need to say sorry. We have to. That is the life situation. So you see that last point, you think about this, that there is an anxiety, duality, conflict, problem, reaction, grief, sorrow when there is no happy marriage between the intellect and the mind. Otherwise, there is no chance. Can I live into that state 24 by 7? That is all for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Welcome
Thank
back.
you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
So we are moving into the